Do you think if someone is under the influence of alcohol that they can consent to intercourse?
I think it depends on the person and, no, actually I think it depends on how much the person has consumed, but I also think it depends on the relationship between the two people as well.
There's a big gray line with that, a lot of ethical and moral decisions that you have to make. I'd say it really depends. I don't think it's black and white. I mean, it depends on how intoxicated they are, their personality, those types of things, so I can't really give you a straight answer to that.
And having a few drinks and intoxicate, I think, are two different things. Like, you can have a few drinks and be able to still make decisions, but then there's a point when you're intoxicated and you don't consent in the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they can. I think it just depends on how intoxicated they are. If they're falling over and not able to speak, I think it's a bit far beyond consent.
No, I don't. I mean, I think it depends on how drunk you are. I know I've been drunk enough that I'm not making smart decisions. I think that should be taken into account.
So, how many drinks would you say a person would be too many drinks before they can consent?
I think it changes on the person. I think it's pretty obvious. Maybe not always, but like, I think it's dependent to the person and pretty specific to the person.
I don't know. I would say morally, no, because you don't have control. Like, you don't have your full inhibitions at play, and you don't have full control over your body. But I do understand that it happens a lot, and I don't necessarily always think that it results in a sexual assault, but I think that it isn't also isn't morally right.
How many drinks or how drunk do you think someone has to be before they're too drunk to consent to sex?
3 drinks?
4?
4?
That's a really tough question. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot. Like, when you're under any influence of alcohol, like, your decision making isn't as good as it is when you're not under the influence, you know? So, I don't know. I feel like when you consume any amounts of alcohol that make you less than sober, I mean,
yeah, I'd say, like, even if both people are on the same level, like, as soon as someone says no, then, like, that's no. But, like, I guess if they're both on the same level and both saying yes, then, like, you can't say that one person is taking advantage of the other, right?
But still, at the same time, if both people are really drunk and one person says yes and then the other person says yes, like, your judgment is just so clouded.
I know.
I don't know. I think anybody under the influence of alcohol, like, even if just a couple drinks, I think that probably would be a no-go. I think just a few drinks, so maybe 2, 3.
For something to actually be considered rape, it'd have to be like completely forced. I've seen a lot of situations where a girl has been like, okay, so far along with it throughout the entire night, and then the next day she's like, oh my god, what the fuck did I do? And then blame that fucking guy and freak the shit and press charges. So I've known some really fucking good dudes that have been charged for those situations, and it's been completely like out of nowhere, and they're like, what the hell is this?
In those situations, were both of them drunk?
Yes.
Okay.
To the point where like barely either of them really remember much of anything. The guy's just like, yeah, met a girl. Girl was like, yeah, I met a guy. Went home, then the girl was like, what the fuck just happened? And they lose their absolute shit. And
if one person says no, then it's no. It doesn't matter if it's the guy or the girl. Don't go there.
I've said no after about a dozen drinks, and he considered that a yes, and he took it as his chance to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah.
So
If you say no once, then it's no.
It's no. Even if I say yes
no matter
100 times,
no matter if
no
it's the guy or
once,
if it's
no.
like girls
Guys
do that to a guy too.
If a guy says no, it's no. Like, obviously somewhere deep down in them they don't want to do it, so it's a no.
It's a no.
No means no.
No means no.
Consent is really important. Like, a lot of people don't think it is, but it's pretty important.